morning, and thank you so much for joining me here at Mommy Turns the Page. My name is Anna. Today I have a book I absolutely love. It's called The Cat Who Liked Potato Soup by Terry Farish, and it's illustrated by Barry Root. We took this out of the library a couple of weeks ago, and we've been reading it for almost every bedtime because the kids love it as much as I do. The first thing that jumped out at me was the quality of the illustrations. This is why I saw it at the library and grabbed it immediately. Barry's illustrations are absolutely gorgeous. They pull you in. They are playful and creative and quirky all at the same time. And my favorite part about it is that they craft a sense of place in such a powerful way. They set this book in rural waterside New England, this rural old style of living. You've got an old man. To me, everything about this book is a little bit reminiscent of Burt Dow, Deep Water Man, where you've got an old guy who's kind of stuck in his ways and is adorable, and you just love him right from the get-go. But oh, the quirky things. I mean, even down to, it's not a garden in an old dinghy, it's a garden in a bathtub. Quirky, funny, I absolutely love it. And to anybody who grew up in rural New England, the words are going to jump out at you, the dialect that this is kind of written in, and also this particular old-timey style of living. The potty by the mailbox. It cracks me up, but oh my goodness, for anybody who grew up kind of in this area, these are the things that are going to jump out at you and make you chuckle. If you didn't grow up in rural New England, well, here's a taste of it. Okay, I absolutely love the way this book is written and illustrated. The words and the pictures together work so well together to tell the story. They are both so integral to the way that you're pulled through the pages. One thing I really enjoy about this is the sense of old-timey New England speech that comes through in this. And again, that's something else that's both reminiscent of Burt Dow, Deep Water Man, with that sort of maritime brogue, and also even a bit Captain's Courageous. Although, let me say, this is much easier to read aloud than Captain's Courageous. There's not going to be any strangely contracted words that you struggle to say out loud as you're figuring out how to read this book with your kids. It's very natural, but it definitely transports you to an old-timey New England old-timers porch. I also love kind of the central theme of this story, which I hope I'm not reading too much into it, but what my takeaway from this book was, be careful with your words. Use loving words with the people you love, because to start with, the old guy here is not using the most loving words with his cat. We can see how much he loves his cat. The two of them live alone together. They have this well-established routine. That cat goes fishing with him every day, and they enjoy being together. They love their routine. He treasures this cat. We can see everything about it. I mean, how cute is this? And yet, he does not speak gently to her. Let me give you a taste of this toward the beginning. It bothered me so much, I almost put it down, and I'm so glad I didn't after I read this page. He's looking at the birds on the telephone line. "Make a good pie," the man said to the cat. The cat licked her lips. "Hogwash," the old man answered. "How would you know how them birds taste? You never killed nothing." Which was true. Not a mouse. Nothing. You know, and it continues on. It's getting to be toward winter. The man brings home an electric blanket, and oh, that is cozy. The cat is so excited about it. The next evening, the cat didn't feel like rousing herself. She wanted her food delivered. The old man whispered, "Fool cat, you ain't nobody's prize, never killed nothing." He brought her a bowl of potato soup on a small tray. We're seeing someone whose actions clearly demonstrate how much he loves this cat, and yet his words don't match up with it. And I think it's an important reminder that the words that we say, even if we think we're saying them in jest or just lightly, aren't always taken lightly. In this situation, the man loses his cat. And it's not out of spite, it's not intentionally, but she's so comfortable on that electric blanket she sleeps in the next day. And so he goes fishing without her. He's sad about it, nothing feels right about that, but when he comes home, she's gone. And we see really clearly how hard that hits him. He grieves for that cat and realizes like how sad he is without her. This is a story that ends happily, and you know, it's a delightful children's book. It doesn't let us be sad for long. This isn't a difficult one to read, even with your most sensitive child. I have one of those, and it very quickly gets us past the point where the cat is missing. Don't worry about that. It is a quick transition to the cat being safely home, and we start to see some changes. One thing I really enjoy about this, again, is the visual details. We see that the plants in the bathtub are dead. I feel like that's just one more thing that shows us how much the man has been really missing his cat and grieving her because he hasn't even been taking care of his plants. But, you know, the cat is back, and look, she's caught something. I always love to read a section of the book, and I just want to read you this next page. It's one of my favorite sections, and again, you can hear how that old New England dialect just comes through. To me, that is something to treasure. It is not very often that you hear a particular type of dialect or brogue, especially one that's kind of dying out here in New England, encapsulated in a children's book and done so well. The old man swept off his cap. He stared at the cat. He stared at the fish. Even the birds hushed up at the sight. The cat did not care. Her eyes dared him to catch that fish. She would not talk, only howl. She opened her mouth and howled for a long time. The old man had trouble making out the details of her story, but she had swum and detested being wet. And then there was the fish part. He sat with her on the porch until she was tired of telling him how awful it had all been. The story was very muddled, but he was impressed. It broke his heart. He thanked her for the fish, which of course she had not given him. He told her, never mind about killing them birds or nothing. She was good enough like she was. A little skinny, he added. She ignored him. And in the end, we find total peace. They are once again all curled up in the shack, and it ends so sweetly. And to me, it just was this lovely reminder that even the words that we say lightly still make it in to those that we love. And I think that that's a really important message. It's not one that is overt in the book. It's not preachy in any way. But to me, I thought that this was a lovely story with an incredible sense of place, and definitely a celebration of a dying New England dialect that is really, I think, something to treasure and celebrate, as it has been so well done in this book. And also just a reminder that even though we know we love people and we feel like we're treating them lovingly, our words, even if they're spoken lightly, words mean something, and let's use loving words with the people we love. This was The Cat Who Liked Potato Soup by Terry Farish, illustrated by Barry Root, and it is absolutely delightful. I hope that this becomes a classic in the same tradition as Make Way for Ducklings or Burt Dow, Deepwater Man. It absolutely deserves it. 5 stars, 2 thumbs way up. This is a beautiful read from cover to cover. My name is Anna. This is Mommy Turns the Page. Thank you again so much for joining me. Have a great day.